Hi, I'm Jack Cush. This is Cutie Clinic. Cutie Clinic is brought to you by RheumNow.Live. This Cutie Clinic is called I'm Ready to Fly. What? I want to talk to you about flying, about going to restaurants, about wearing masks, and why going to RWCS was actually a great thing. You know, I travel a lot. I'm used to being on a lot of planes, going to a lot of places, but not so much in the last 12 months. It's really been shut down time. So I was able to go to RWCS and I sort of learned something at that meeting. But let me begin with why it's safe to go to a restaurant. Restaurants, really. Well, you know, I live in Texas. The governor of Texas just opened up the whole state and threw away the mask mandate. The man's insane. He's out of his mind. I don't know why these idiots, these politicians, are trying to kill people. Clearly, there are rules, and the rules should be followed. But the rule says that you need to wear a mask to go into a store. You need to wear a mask to go into a restaurant. And then you get in the restaurant, and what do? You take your mask, and you throw it away. And now it's supposed to be magically safe? Isn't that stupid? Actually, it's not. And why is it not? Well, because when you sit down at a restaurant, you're going to be sitting down at that table with the people you live with, the people you hang with, the people who you don't wear a mask around 24/7 at home, wherever. I live alone. I go to a restaurant. I'm by myself. There's very few people I go to a restaurant with where I don't need to wear a mask. But you're basically at a table in a 6-foot sphere, a bubble of your own, where there's no invasion, if you will, of microbes into your space. The only person that's breaking into your space is going to be Olga, the waitress, who's wearing a mask, and she's dropping a few plates of chimichangas and leaving. She might come back once or twice. The risk of getting COVID at a restaurant isn't sitting down and eating chimichangas. It is going in and out of the restaurant. It is not wearing your mask there or not being careful about who you mingle with and who you traffic by. Again, you're mingling at the door, holding the door, letting people go by you. You're mingling at the checkout counter, paying your bill, with people you don't know and you don't know what their risk is. You're not controlling your environment. When you're seated at the table, you have control of your environment. It's the same thing on a plane. I haven't been on a plane in a long time. I thought it was great to get on a plane. I was worried about it, but I have my rules. My rules are I double mask. I wore a complex fiber cloth mask and N95 over that. I wore goggles. I didn't mingle with people. I went to the bathroom before I got on the plane. I drank a bottle of water. I didn't talk to anybody. Flight attendants don't talk to me. I had space between me and the next open seat, and it was a safe experience. Why are planes safe? Well, actually, there's very few cases of COVID from plane travel. And the research on travel and acquiring infections basically shows that you have this sphere of influence. It's less than 6 feet. It's basically 2 seats away, maybe the seat in front of you, maybe the seat across the aisle, or someone in the same aisle as you. If those people got COVID and they're coughing, you're going to get COVID. But interestingly, there have been very, very few cases of COVID acquired on planes in the last year. You know, there's been a few horrific stories of something bizarre that happened, but they're rare and far between. Moreover, as you know, the planes have gotten all crazy about sanitizing everything. The protocol is you sit at a window seat. You have a space next to you. You control your space, control your environment, and you don't mingle. The risk of getting COVID in plane travel isn't on the plane. It's actually checking in, going through security, mingling at the food court. Walk around the airport and you'll see that everybody at the airport isn't wearing a mask. Many people are, but there are people who think that I only need to wear a mask when I get on the plane. And that's not true. You need to wear the mask from the time you get out of your car to the time you arrive at your destination. And this is the same as to why RWCS was actually a safe and comfortable meeting. Number one, You had to travel there. Travel was uneventful for, I don't know, 50, 100 people who went to the meeting. What happened once we got there? Well, there were precautions. Everybody got their own 8-foot table. Everybody was encouraged to wear masks while walking around the hotel and on the hotel property. And then once you got into the meeting, you could take off your mask if you're eating your breakfast. But a lot of people would leave their mask on during the meeting, even while they're taking notes and watching the speakers, etc. Some people would take it off intermittently. But the bottom line is, when you got up, it's like the restaurant. You put your mask back on, and you're good. You know, you can go get an iced tea, or go to the bathroom, or go by the booths and see the sales reps. It was actually quite comfortable. And then when we gathered as a group, by the way, who was the group? The group were doctors who all had to be tested to get into Hawaii. The rule was you had to have a nasal PCR within 72 hours of arriving in Hawaii to be admitted to Hawaii. Moreover, these are all doctors, all of whom had been vaccinated. Yes, both vaccines. So by the time we got there, we had created our own bubble, that we weren't mixing with other people. And when we got together as a group, we were outside, maintaining the same distancing and masking. And then when we ate, we took off our masks. When we done, we put our mask back on. Incredibly safe, very comfortable. This is what's going to happen at RheumNow.Live in Fort Worth. We got a bunch of people coming. We're going to ensure the same degree of safety, sanitary conditions, great spacing in the meeting. We're going to have a gathering. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be entirely safe. I'm going to be comfortable being there. I hope that you're going to be comfortable being there. We'll see you in Fort Worth in but a few weeks.